tyrannical governments become the oppressors of the very people whose needs they are supposed to meet. Like the Nazis in Germany, the Taliban hijacked a nation which deeply resented their authority gained by assassination. Unlike the Nazis, the Taliban destroyed their own culture, exported terror, and considered the face of a woman seen in public, quote, a source of corruption. They attempted to literally send their people back a millennium. Those governments suppressed the will of their people, their values, and their liberty. They were never accepted by the community of free nations. But what about the values of the oppressed? They are values that reasonable people the world over share. They were fought for and won in the French and American revolutions, and the final chapter of the Arab Spring remains unwritten. Abraham Maslow built a pyramid of basic human need. At the base lies security, followed by food, clothing, and shelter, with self-actualization at the peak. But more specifically, doesn't every parent want to give their children a life a little better than their own? Does not everyone, regardless of whether they live in a democracy or a dictatorship, desire the freedom to pursue happiness, to pursue excellence? After deciding to spend a year doing humanitarian work overseas, I flew as a pilot for Air Serv International, living among the citizens of Kabul, Afghanistan, a country as foreign as anything I could imagine. I knew all too well the differences between the cultures and values of Afghanistan and America, many of which I didn't understand nor necessarily agree. I was told to expect danger and hatred at every corner. Nevertheless, as I set out to cautiously explore Afghanistan, I instead discovered the common humanity. Air Serv International was inspired by missionaries who felt that before the gospel could be digested, one's material needs must first be met. They were looking for pilots in Africa and Afghanistan, and I initially turned down their offer in Africa given my quite rational fear of diseases such as Ebola, malaria, scabies, and everything else to be had. I think in the end, the collective tap of the Jesuit order who had educated me so long ago in New Orleans nudged me towards the calling. And since marriage and family had eluded me to that point, there was very little keeping me in America, and I set off to start a new life. Afghanistan is one of the poorest nations in the world. It has the geographic misfortune of being a crossroad of invaders for over 2.5 millennia. It began with Alexander the Great, and continued on to Genghis Khan and Tamerlane, the notorious Mongol invaders. Similar to Poland's unfortunate location between Russia and Germany, the nation was used as a buffering pawn of the British and Russian empires for over 300 years, terminating with the ouster of the Russians in the 1980s. When the Afghans weren't fighting invaders, they were fighting themselves. In the brief spells of peace, great strides forward were made only to be given back at a greater rate through war and oppression. The remnants of those conflicts are seen in the poorest parts of Kabul. There are tent encampments on the outskirts of the city, where refugee life has become endemic and continues to this day. Once settled into my quarters in the Wazir Akbar Khan neighborhood in Kabul, I ran a trail to the summit of the hill located behind my home to get a view of the city. Local shoeshine boys became my most reliable intelligence source and advised me to stay on the worn paths to ensure relative safety in the recently demined area. The dusty, barren trail led to a most unusual oasis, a full-scale 50-meter Olympic-sized swimming pool, complete with concrete diving platforms. It was built during Soviet occupation in the early 1980s as a means to introduce Afghanistan into 20th century recreation. It was never fully operational and became gun placements for the Soviets and later the Taliban. Today, it is a popular place for boys playing soccer, as the pool walls keep the balls from tumbling down the hillside. Afghan people, at least those who were not influenced by the Taliban, have always been gracious to foreigners, and I was no different. I was always being peppered with questions and enjoying the dialogue. It seemed that everywhere I traveled in Kabul, I was reminded of war, both past and present. The city was littered with scraps of old Soviet armored personnel vehicles, which made intriguing playgrounds for young boys and a hangout for teenagers. Kabul is protected by the International Security Assistance Force, or ISAF, the NATO-led security mission. Units from the smaller countries of the 50-member alliance could be seen patrolling the streets of Kabul. The troops are generally viewed as protectors of the city rather than invaders, as the country's fragile government works to establish enduring order. I often ran the hill to find solace after a long day at work. The Hindu Kush mountains to my west afforded me sunsets with ever-changing color, accompanied by sounds of the evening breeze and the Islamic call to prayer rising from distant neighborhoods. Time spent alone on the hill gave me opportunity to reflect on the day, and over time, raised questions about how Afghans and Americans weren't so different after all. When I first arrived in Kabul, the south slope of the hill near my home was a garbage dump, and I would see children and the poor rummaging through it daily for anything salvageable. Remarkably, they routinely found value in items discarded by others. Unfortunately, this sometimes included scraps of food. At the base of the hill lies a community with houses built of bricks made from mud and straw, the same as the pyramids. Houses are connected by narrow roads and passageways. Most houses have no plumbing, and water is fetched several times a day by young children from communal wells. Of course, when a stranger arrives with a camera, the children immediately wanted to see what was going on and started to pose for the camera. But for the most part, daily life has changed little in the past 1,000 years, or for that matter, since the time Alexander the Great visited, the first European to lay eyes on this land. For most homes, sewage is handled the same way as it was in America until after the Civil War. It is simply channeled from homes into the nearest body of water. Whereas I lived in a neighborhood of well-constructed homes with modern amenities, I took my morning runs through neighborhoods with no running water and sporadic electricity. Children could always be seen fetching water from common wells, much the same way as was done in America before indoor plumbing. The northern slope is a graveyard, amounting to little more than piles of hardened dirt, with slate grave markers and Islamic prayer flags. The graveyards are close to dwellings, and like Orthodox Jews, the Muslims generally bury their dead within a day of passing. Fuel for the middle class comes from goat manure stacked in piles throughout the city. Others use wood and sometimes modern propane tanks. The poor burn anything they can to survive, including rubber tires, used motor oil, and plastic bags. Please come to something. Inside? Yes. For tea? Yes. On a quiet evening run, I heard a voice calling out a polite greeting in English. Oh, thank you. Hello, sir. I am Omar. Thank you. The young man before me was personable, polite, and impressed his friends by speaking to the out-of-place American. After a brief conversation, I was invited into his home for tea, a deeply held Afghan tradition. I removed my shoes, entered the house, and met the family. Before we dined, Omar brought the wash kettle and basin, pouring water over my hands into the basin, then handing me a clean towel. This ritual dates back as far as recorded history. Lunch was enjoyed on hand-woven Afghan carpets covering the family room. The carpets were a common Afghan design, made from wool and natural dyes, and knotted by Omar's extended family members from the countryside. In lieu of furniture, a plastic mat placed atop the carpet served as our table. As per tradition, the men were served first, while the women and girls ate in the kitchen. In the absence of guests, the family enjoys meals together, and like in America, it is the focal point of family life. Over time, I too dined with the entire family. Although the house was unlike any I had ever visited, the Faisis went out of their way to make me feel at home and offer me the same hospitality I have received in countless homes in America. His father, Yarmour, was a colonel in the Afghan Air Force, which immediately put me at ease, as these guys were on the American payroll. As Yarmour spoke no English, I asked Omar what his job was in the military. My father makes people tell him what he wants to know. I was then formally introduced to Omar's mother, Torpika, a striking woman from the north of Afghanistan, and his beautiful, inquisitive, but somewhat shy sisters, Gita and Sita. The women and girls remained unveiled, which is appropriate inside the home. Lunch was followed by copious amounts of tea as neighbors stopped by the house to visit as well. Omar went on to explain how the family, fearing for their lives, escaped to Pakistan when the Taliban took control of Kabul in the 1990s. They fled because his father was in the military, and he would have been tortured and killed if captured. Next, the Taliban would have enforced a policy of not permitting the women outside the home without a male escort, adding even more suffering to the family. The Faisis lived in a refugee camp for 3 years. Omar and his 2 sisters could not even attend school. Gita, would you tell the people on the camera that you want to be a doctor, and tell them what kind of a doctor you would want to be and who do you want to help?
Doctor.
Oh, yes, she said I'm in future be a doctor.
What kind of doctor do you want to be?
Doctor
Jared.
student doctor.
Do you like to study biology and sciences in school now?
Biology.
Biology, very good. And Sita wants to be a journalist.
Yes.
And what kind of stories does she want to write?
He says I'm writing on the old president of Afghanistan.
The old presidents.
Yes.
In Topeka, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
In Kabul.
In Kabul.
Yeah.
And how long has your family lived in Kabul?
Very much.
Very good.
Yeah.
And Yarmour, can you tell us about the job that you do in the military?
Yes, but no, it's good.
He works in the military. He does good work, and that's about all we can talk about right now.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank the Faisi family because of Omar, who spoke good English. We met out on the graveyard, which is near the family home. I was invited into the house. I met his father, his mother, and his 2 beautiful sisters. They have been beyond generous to me in the 2 years that I've known the family. We thank you all very much. Tashakur. Rush hour traffic is endemic. Whether I find myself in Kabul or New York City, there is always a traffic jam to be found. While traveling to the Kabul airport each day in the crew van, I sat in amazement at how the city functioned without traffic lights and so little infrastructure. Hillsides were crammed with houses with neither plumbing nor electricity. In America, we learned that public transportation helps to move large amounts of people wherever they need to go. The same is true in Kabul. However, time and again, the long-term effects of war demonstrated its lasting toll. In the 1950s, there was little difference in public transportation, let alone fashion trends between New York City and Kabul. But today, those same 1950s Afghan buses are still in service and supplemented by overcrowded vans as air pollution has become a serious problem. The ancient Kabul Bazaar is a forbidden venue to most foreign workers. It sits alongside the Kabul River, which in the post-Taliban world is little more than a trash-ridden ditch in the city center full of shoppers. Yet, it is the place an Afghan can find all their shopping needs. Unlike shopping malls in most parts of the world, the Kabul Bazaar is not dominated by women. However, they have a far greater presence than during the Taliban era. Though no longer required by law, many women honor their family tradition by being thoroughly covered from head to toe in a burqa, the blue cloak that covers the head, face, and torso, with vision limited through a small mesh face covering. While in public places like the bazaar, I learned never to initiate conversation, ask a question, nor make direct eye contact with a woman. It is a rule heard many times before and during my trip to Afghanistan. This custom, though rooted in respect for women, was enforced by the Taliban to a degree that turned respect into severe persecution. The bazaar is separated into areas of need. I wanted to blend in, and in the textile area, I had some material tailored into a shalwar kameez, the local attire. And for a few dollars, I could actually go unnoticed so long as I remained quiet. In another area, vendors sell piles of shoes with the challenge of not knowing what size they are. Thus, trying on shoes can take considerable time. I became comfortable walking through the bazaar, and after a few months, I strolled through the maze of shops and carts like I was at a traditional mall found anywhere in the United States. I could easily envision the businesses selling the same items I find at home. In effect, they were. Some salesmen were aggressive, others patient and helpful. All the food is displayed outdoors as well. On the outskirts of town, sheep are herded by young boys much in the same way they have been for centuries. They are brought to market each day for slaughter and immediately sold. Cart after cart of butchered sheep, complete with severed heads and entrails, are sold. Every part of the animal is available, and the brains and hooves are seen as delicacies. A sheep's eye, lightly salted with a drop of lemon, is a source of protein and high in calories. It provides an excellent breakfast to start the day. The produce segment of the bazaar resembles Saturday morning farmers markets found throughout America. The smell of grilled lamb kebabs in the food court makes for a nice fast food meal during a busy shopping day. We're in the Kabul Bazaar, and this is the distribution and sales point for Omar Faizi and his family, where they sell carpets. These carpets are made by hand woven by women and children from their family home in the Mazar-e-Sharif district. These carpets are trucked down to Kabul, and this is the main gathering point for all the carpets of this part of Afghanistan. Omar's extended family makes carpets in rural northern Afghanistan and sells them in Kabul and Mazar-e-Sharif. I was invited to see the retail operation at the Kabul Bazaar. Set atop a gold shop, the Faizi carpet store had hundreds of carpets. Hanging on walls and stacked high were carpets made from wool and silk. I soon learned how to scope a hand-woven carpet and determine its material and quality while enjoying several cups of tea. Why don't you explain to us maybe the difference between these three carpets here, because they're all
Yes,
pretty darn nice looking.
this carpet and this is made from Iraq, and this name is Zahir Shahi.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same carpets, and this one is from Mazar, and name is Choprang.
Choprang?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, these carpets are very soft, and this not soft.
Because it's thicker knots.
Yes, yes.
And what is this carpet made of?
Made of from natural.
Was it wool or silk or?
Yes, wool.
Wool. Okay.
Yes, wool. Yes,
All right.
wool.
Does this design mean anything?
Yes. This design means Choprang.
Choprang. And what is Choprang?
Choprang means natural.
Natural.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now how about this one?
This one is Zahir Shahi.
Yeah.
Zahir Shahi. Made of Herat. So it's wool.
This is wool?
Yes, wool.
Okay.
And it's also wool.
Ah.
Yes. And it is also wool. This too is from the Iraq.
And what is the name of this design?
This design is Zahir Shahi,
Yeah.
and this design is also Zahir Shahi, because these are made from the Iraq.
Made from Herat.
Yes, by hand. Yes, these three carpets from wool, make of wool.
Now how long does it take to make a carpet like this?
This carpet?
Yeah.
This carpet's maybe 1 month.
How many people?
2 people.
2 people?
Yes, it's small.
Is it usually ladies or small children?
No, ladies.
Ladies make these.
Young girls.
Yes, because
Yes.
they have the small hands.
Yes, yes.
I see.
Small hands. And this 1 month by 2.
Very, very
Yes,
nice.
and this is by 1 or 2 persons. May this to 20 days or 50 days.
Okay,
Yes, it's
because it's not as
easy
it's
than
easy
this.
one.
Yes.
This is very complicated.
This rag is made from the mother, and it's map of the world. It's like a gun of Kalashnikov or helicopters or another things. It's make for the use, and another people they make for buying.
Like a good businessman anywhere in the world, my tour of the carpet shop was immediately stopped when there was business to be conducted. Afghanistan can be a dangerous place, but with a little guile and street smarts, gems can be found. Such is the case in Kabul, where during our drive through the countryside, I discovered the Kabul Country Club. Nestled in a valley beneath Lake Kwarga lies the course built by Americans in the 1960s, closed by the Soviets in the late 70s for being too bourgeois, and later mined by the Taliban in the 90s for being too much fun. The club's longtime pro, Mohammed Bashir, was jailed by both parties. To date, it is the only golf course ever built in Afghanistan. Though I rarely play the game of golf, I have great respect for the sport. And although I seem to have run on more golf courses than most men have played, the idea of playing a round of golf in what was once a minefield held great intrigue to me. The course began atop a dam and dropped over 100 feet before meandering through the arid desert valley 6 miles outside of Kabul. At first sight, the course appears not to exist, just open desert with runoff from below the dam flowing down the valley. Upon closer inspection, one can see putting greens and flags, randomly located in the rocky terrain. The putting greens were in fact browns, made up of oil and sand, and swept after each hole by a ball boy with an old Afghan carpet attached to a stick, which made for a smooth putting surface. Players were assigned a caddy and ball boy, and after the tee shot from atop the dam, each subsequent stroke by a player resulted in a perfect lie. The young boys would chase after each shot, take the ball from the rocky surface, and place it atop a piece of plate-sized artificial turf for the next shot. We're talking to Mohammed Afsat. He is the manager and proprietor of the Kabul Country Club. And Mohammed, if you would tell us about how the golf course began and your involvement and your experiences with the golf club over these past 30 years.
30 years, we have good golf course, we have good people, and people help me a lot of the American embassy and another embassy, all the foreigner people help me. I have good grass because I go the Russian camp, I go for 6 months to jail, and after the Russian, the Afghanistan, fighting, different king is coming, and we close the golf. And after Mr. Karzai coming and the ISAF coming, the foreigner coming, I am very happy now. And I want to, all people help me to make good golf course for the people. Now I have 70 or 16 students, the Afghan children and girls, I have a student because I need help for the foreigner, for all embassy.
And I like to say that this is probably one of the most unique golf courses and one of the most beautiful venues that I've ever played anywhere in the world. And I can say this is a man who's definitely paid his dues more than anybody else I know and sacrificed for the game that he loves. And we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Mohammed.
Welcome.
Our pleasure. Okay. After settling into my position in Kabul, I realized I had a lot of free time on my hands. I have a background in track and field, and made contact with the Afghan Olympic Committee to volunteer as a coach for the younger kids, and was invited to the notorious Ghazni Stadium. In the past, the first time I'd entered the sporting cathedrals of Notre Dame Stadium, the Coliseum in Los Angeles, or Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, my first impressions reverted to thoughts of the great sporting figures and events held in those venues. The Four Horsemen of Notre Dame, Carl Lewis's 4 gold medals in the 1984 Olympic Games, and the deafening noise on foggy autumn nights near the Mississippi River. Likewise, the initial impression upon entering Kabul Stadium rendered images in my mind of Taliban executions for petty crimes like stealing a loaf of bread or adultery. The judgments were performed during halftime of soccer matches as demonstrations of authority and intimidation before the events of 9/11. The grass field was surrounded by a broken concrete track which is 4 lanes, making the 400-meter journey of circumference.
This is the track that we run on here in Afghanistan. It wasn't always this bad. However, during the Civil War following the fall of the Soviet Union, forces basically loyal to the Taliban decided they wanted to rip up every piece of rubber tartan surface on this track and haul it off to God knows where. What was left was the concrete foundation, which is extremely hard on the knees and ankles and joints of these young athletes. Severely limited their training. They've gone through multitudes of injuries. But with some outside aid, we're just trying to break up the track. We're going to be laying a new tartan track, and within about a couple of months, this place is going to be looking much, much better. The athletes will be able to train like their competitors all over the world, and we'll start seeing the true potential of these young men and women.
I met a group of teenagers and young men in their early 20s conducting warm-ups. They were the Afghan national track and field team, and I was invited to help prepare future Olympians. I worked with 3 groups of athletes. The young men of the national team, teenagers hoping to earn a place on the national team one day, and young boys learning the fundamentals of the sport on the same track as their nation's Olympic heroes. The boys and young men I worked with share the same dream of their fellow athletes the world over. They love what they do and desire to be the best. Be it Kabul, Afghanistan, a small school in Louisiana, or ancient Athens, athletes the world over train their bodies to be measured against a clock, tape measure, or one another. It is what they do. That innate desire to press their boundaries and compete with one another is universal. As Afghanistan is given a waiver by the International Olympic Committee, they are allowed 1 male and 1 female sprinter to compete in track and field at the Olympic Games. Under the threat from the Taliban, who disdain all sport, these young athletes train on a broken track in foul air and wear old shoes as they pursue the dream to represent their nation for a brief moment and compete shoulder to shoulder with the very best in the world.
Actually, he was very excited and he is very happy to go into there. He was trying to get more practice every day, and he was just about getting everyday practice. And he was very happy to go into there to get competition over there with all of the champions of the world, and he was very excited for this.
Very good. And how about what do the next 2 years and 4 years hold in store for you in terms of the Asian Games, South Asian Games, and perhaps London?
He said we are just right now training for the South Asian Games, and in front of us we have South Asian Games right here, and after this the Berlin competition, and we are just right now doing practice and planning for the 2012 for London, practicing for this as well. He is the champion of 200 meters right now. He have a good record like 22, and he just broke down for 2 seconds as the record, and he is hopefully getting the 2nd position or 3rd position in South Asian Games. And we are just hopefully giving once again the 3rd position in rally.
Very good. And for you, Kadir, you just graduated school and you speak very good English. You're an interpreter for the United States Marines. May have you in the United States one day, but from an athletic standpoint, what kind of goals do you have for the next year or 2?
Actually, right now, I'm just graduating from high school, and I'm as an instructor with 27 of Marine. And just right now, I'm doing my practices, track and field and running, and hopefully I'm getting once a day to state, and I'm going to do my practice, my running over there. And I'm very happy to get here and do running to the state. and I'm very happy for this. And if I get a good result for this, I get to do competition for the Afghanistan or to state. I'm very happy for this. If I get good ability, good facilities for the United States, if they maybe accept me as a civilian of the state, give me a chance for this, I'm very happy to get a competition for the state. I'm very happy for this.
You'd be a good man to have in America, both of you guys. And once again, it was such a joy to see you guys running the relays, and I'd like to maybe see you on television do another relay sometime for a good record.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate for you.
Best wishes to my friend.
Yes, I appreciate.
Okay, once again with Kadir and Shakur Amiri, the head track coach of Afghanistan Athletics. And congratulations on your visit to Beijing. And my question is, you have a foundation here. You've had athletes going to the World Championships, the Olympic Games. We're getting a new track here in the stadium. What kind of vision do you see for your athletes for the next 4-year cycle, going to London, as opposed to the limitations you've had with obviously the Taliban, and we've had some civil war and unrest, but what do you see for the future? What has changed from the last time I was here?
First of all, he's just starting from the future. You know, as a future time, that was a Taliban regime. In that time, he doesn't have any good athlete in here, and he doesn't have any professional team right here. We just have some little guys that they're running, and we got the teacher Najib right here, and he was training them. And after this, sometimes their new government just started the new regime of the Karzai, and that time we just brought the new team in right here in Kabul, and after this we registered them to the Olympic, and it's become a professional. We got competition around all of the Kabul, and we make a strong team right here. And after this team is getting better every day, make schedule, training, practice time, everything just getting new. And after this, and that time, they just went to the for training for 6 months to Iran, and also just the first time they're getting to the first competition of South Asian Games. And that time, all of the world competition like AWF, IAWF, like this, I think, that's saying in Afghanistan doesn't have any federation of athletic. But when we start training, everything, you know, Afghanistan have a good athletic teams, and they sign as invitation for the competition every time. This, and all the countries just invite us for this competition, and we just day by day we're getting better. And up to we get to the South Asian Games, Championship of the Tokyo, and Korea, Asian Games. Asian Championship Games that I joined that one, and all other and Islamic Games in Islamic Games 2004, Asian Olympic Games in 2008 Beijing. That teacher Shabra has already there, and you meet them and Masood over there.
و یک مسافت سوی ما ترتان فرش میشه باز ما میتونیم که خودم مطابق کشورهای همسایه تاجیکستان، پاکستان، ایران عیار بسازیم.
And also just that Afghanistan is going to have the new track and field, the new stadium, right, rubber series, you know. And also this in the Taliban, Afghanistan is going to have the good ability like other countries, the neighbor countries like Pakistan, Iran, Tajikistan, and other countries that they are in each and around of us, neighbor of us. And we are going to have the same ability of this, and we are going to have a good team right here.
I think that track is a major accomplishment. That was definitely needed.
میگه تعریف موافق میگن ترتان با شما بسیار چیز مهمه عمومی است که بچه‌هاش به بسیار ضرورت بود دارن.
ترتان کس یکی از عنصرهای اساسی رشته اتلتیک است. ترتان، استارت بلاک، خود دوش. این سه چیزی که باشه و مربی خوب باشه طبعا هیچ نمیشه.
Exactly, the athletic need for the best things like best service like Tartan, you know, track and field place, and good coach, best coach, star blocks, and the coach for the running for the track and field. If anyone have these abilities, these facilities, and they're going to have a good team.
Very good. And one last question. I saw Fatima Mohammadi race in Osaka, Japan, and Robina raced in Beijing. How does your women's program look for the future?
As you know, right now we have the junior and senior team of national team of athletic for female, and they are just doing training 3 times a week. And after that, we have a good facility of tartan tracking right here, and they are going to do the same practices like the male right here, the guys, and the guys are going to have the more practice schedule right here, and they are going to be good in the future.
Well, best wishes to the both of you. Hopefully I will see you much sooner than London in 4 years. But congratulations
از شما
on
بسیار
doing a
تشکر
good
و
job in Beijing.
تشکر بسیار کار خوبه که saying thanks for you and appreciating for you that you are coming here and helping us and our teams, our guys, and thanks for this that you arrive our wise to all of the world by your channel, by your TV, by your films, and we're thankful for you and appreciating for you. Thanks.
Tashakkur the both of you. Thank you, my friend.
All right.
Thank you so much. I want to help you boys as much as I can for Berlin is next year, London is in 4 years, hopefully in 8 years you come to America, to Chicago. But I want to help you guys as best I can. It's always good to know you have a friend in America that wants to see Afghan athletes run as very fast as they can. That's the whole objective, to help you boys and you young men to go fast.
تمام هدف که دارم ما تا جای توانایی و قدرت است که من هرچی بهتر بتونم شما رو کوشش کنم کمک کنم چیزی که اصلا یعنی میگم میخواستم کل تیم کمک کنم کل چیز در عرصه مثلا در مسابقات نه در شما میاد در شیکاگو مثلا امریکا زوجت شما را کمک کنه که فکر کنم تمام کوشش خواهم میکنم چیزی که میتونم چیزی که میتونم بریم پیش ببریم. Thank you. And your thanks for you.
Tashakkur.
دقت مانده نباش
Omar invited me for a drive in the countryside one Friday with two cousins who owned a taxi. We squeezed into the cab and set off to the streets of Kabul. The driver soon stopped and made a deal with a roadside vendor and then modified his cigarettes. He opened the end, removed some tobacco, and added some hashish. Omar said it calmed his nerves while driving through the chaotic city streets. While driving along a well-traveled road on the countryside, we made a discovery that would raise plenty of eyebrows in America: a field full of poppies and cannabis. After near misses and constant blaring of horns, we eventually arrived at a quiet reservoir built by American engineers in the 1950s. Everyone needs time away. Each year, millions of Americans escape summer heat and drive high into the mountains to enjoy the cool air. Some people enjoy hiking the mountain summits of the Rockies, while others desire a quiet retreat for reflection near a cool waterfall in the Appalachians. The Bamiyan Valley is no different. The Silk Road connecting trade between east and west was first explored and established from the west by Alexander the Great, and from the east by Chinese explorers and traders. Buddhist monks soon discovered the Bamiyan Valley nestled over 8,000 feet in the Hindu Kush Mountains, made for the perfect retreat. They too enjoyed a quiet escape from the summer heat and built cave dwellings in the sandstone rock, similar to ones that can be seen at Mesa Verde National Park in Colorado. For centuries, the monks made retreats into the valley and painted some of the oldest oil paintings known to man. Over time, the monks built 3 colossal statues of Buddha, one of which was the tallest in the world. When Genghis Khan sent his grandson to seize the valley in the 13th century, the citizens took exception and killed him. The valley was destroyed, man and beast killed, and the women fell victim to ethnic genocide. The abuse was highlighted by the Taliban destroying the Buddhist statues with artillery shells in the months leading to the attacks of 9/11. The weather warmed, and the kids flooded the streets, rooftops, and hillsides, congregating to pursue a passion unique to Kabul: the flying and running for fallen kites, the likes of which gave Khalid Hosseini inspiration for the kite runner. These simple but highly maneuverable kites are made from paper and balsa sticks. With no tail, the kites are inherently unstable and require great skill to keep them aloft. On any given afternoon from atop the hill behind my home, I could count well over 100 kites filling the skies. The combination of colors and the sheer number of kites flying over Kabul defined one of the greatest pleasures of Afghan youth. Since kite flying is indeed a pleasure, it demonstrates one of the most simple but poignant returns of Afghan culture. Because from the late 1990s until the liberation of Afghanistan in 2001, the Taliban had even banned kite flying. I was very reluctant to leave everything I knew and understood to move to Afghanistan. It did not take long to learn that the vast majority of Afghan people I met were thankful for the eradication of the Taliban by America. Of course, there were places I could not safely travel, and there were people who would kill or kidnap me without hesitation. I arrived at a war zone to help rebuild Afghanistan and witnessed death and destruction firsthand. Thousands of American troops and many more Afghans have made the ultimate sacrifice. But I met people from all walks of Afghan life. People who want to live in freedom, who want to live their lives in peace and to give their children a little better world than their own. Isn't that what we call the American dream? Wie heißt du?
Ich heiße
Sehr gut. Ich heiße Luke. Wo wohnen Sie? Ist das dein Haus?
Ja.
Ausgezeichnet. Was magst du? Du bist ein Student?
Ja, in die Schule gehe ich.
In die Schule?
Ja.
Was studierst du? Mathematik?
Ja.
Ja, Englisch?
Ja.
Deutsch?
Englisch.
Hey,
Englisch.
du sprichst sehr gutes Deutsch.
Ja.
Ich bin ein Pilot. Ich bin ein Flugpilot.
Ja.
Sehr gut. Spielst du Football?
Ja.
Bist du gut?
Ja.
Alright, sehr gut. Okay, wir müssen gehen.
Okay.
Okay, guten Tag.
Guten Tag.